Morning all, hope you're all doing well. If you are an England fan, it's the big day. If you're a Spain fan, it's the big day. Or if you're Scottish, Welsh, Irish, it's just Sunday. Anyway, if you are an England fan though, I hope you have a fantastic evening. I think you've got a great chance tonight. I still think Spain will win, but they're a better team, but England have just got that individual quality, and sometimes that's enough to win the game. You've got match winners in there, Saka's goal, Bellingham's goal. You've got players that can just do something without the team needing to perform well. So hope you have a lovely evening though, even though I might be rooting for the Spanish. But anyway, all joking aside, let's talk about West Ham, because during the week or the last couple of weeks, it's gone a little bit quiet on the Flynn Downes to Southampton front. So much so that yesterday I was literally doing a video talking about Flynn Downes getting a second opportunity at West Ham under Lopetegui. And then in the afternoon, Russell Martin essentially demanded Flynn Downes at Southampton next season. This is what this is what Russell Martin had to say yesterday in regards to Flynn Downes. Now, there's a bit of context. I'm going to give that in a second. But Martin said, it will take more time. We just have to be patient. I wanted him here last week, 4 weeks ago even. When someone is owned by another club and they're a good player, they're going to always try and keep them. I hope at some point we will show enough love and give West Ham enough money. Hopefully before the end of the season, he will be in a Southampton shirt. If he's not, I will cry myself to sleep. So a little bit of a weird quote, but here's the context. The context is this was at a fan Q&A. And I think sometimes at these types of events and forums, the manager can be a little bit relaxed and laid back. And I think that's good. I think that's a good environment for your manager to be in. But the context here is he's not having a professional interview with Sky Sports or the club's media page or anything like that. He's speaking to Southampton fans and obviously been asked about the pursuit of Flynn Downes because he had an incredible success with them last season. And at the end of the season, Flynn Downes said he wanted to go back to Southampton. He said he loves it at Southampton. He loves the manager. But again, context is important there. He kind of has to say that to some extent, Downes. You know, it was before the playoff final he's been asked these questions. He has to say that he's happy at Southampton. Do you know what? He probably was. So Martin was just addressing the fans, and that's why I think when he said, I'll cry myself, I think it's done with tongue-in-cheek, a little bit of a joke, but it does demonstrate his desperation to get Downes back, and understandably so. He was a key part of their team last season. Obviously, they signed Harwood Bellis, who was obviously on loan from Man City. He's now a permanent signing at the Saints, and they've gone and got their right back in, which may see Walker Peters leave. And I think that was the domino, really. I think maybe Southampton were trying to get that one tied up before going again for Flynn Downes and using Walker Peters as some sort of part of the deal. In regards from a West Ham perspective, they can't really lose, as far as I'm concerned. Flynn Downes is here next season, and he's competing with Edson Alvarez, maybe even playing next to Edson Alvarez, and he's part of the squad, and he has got that opportunity. Good. I'm happy with that. If we decide to cash in on Flynn Downes this summer, depending on the fee, obviously, but I'm okay with that as well, because his value will be quite high. And when you add in just how desperate Russell Martin is to get him back to Southampton, I think that increases the price a little bit as well. I think maybe the Saints manager's made a bit of an error there. I guess you could suggest he's trying to appeal to Flynn Downes and say tapping up. It's not tapping up, is it, in my opinion? But Downes will know how much Russell Martin wants him. That becomes no surprise. But I think he's very much put the pressure on the board a little bit to go and get him. I think it's the manager's way of saying, look, I really want Flynn Downes. So if he's not here next season, it's because they were unable to get the deal done. So anyway, I'd be interested to get your thoughts. So get your comments in regarding Flynn Downes, anything West Ham related. Get your comments in and let's see what you're all saying this morning. Simon says, can only sell or swap Downes if we replace him with an upgrade to play alongside and cover Alvarez. Cannot go into the new season with the same midfield, which is slow and conceded possession too easily. I think some of that was down to tactics. The one thing I will say is we've obviously got Freddie Potts as well. And it'll be interesting to see how good he is pre-season. I think if he shows he's more than capable, and perhaps we already have the Flynn Downes replacement at the club. Because one thing I cannot do is go on about lack of opportunities from the players from the academy and then encourage barriers for those better prospects coming out of the academy. At the moment, I think, George Earthy is obviously the leading candidate to get the most minutes next season. Casey is one of the youngsters heavily involved in pre-season as well. But Freddie Potts had an outstanding season on loan at Wycombe last year. And we've got a big decision to make on him. Do we loan him out for a further season, or do we keep him as part of the squad? I think pre-season will be telling. If he can impress Lopetegui, maybe the manager will think, actually, this guy can step up, and give him 6 months. If it's not working in January, we can go into the transfer market and try and bring somebody in. But maybe we give Potts an opportunity. He certainly deserves a bit of a chance anyway after what he's done at Wycombe last season. William would let Downes play pre-season, see how he gets on. I think that's the other thing. We're not under any pressure to sell. It's not that we need, well, maybe we do need the money, we just don't know. But I feel like the club can be quite calm over this one and decide what they want to do. Andy says he can demand Russell Martin all he likes. If they're not that desperate, stick another 10 million on the price. Well, good morning to people. Lag, Stephen, Cheddars, Iggy, good morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Get your thoughts into the live chat about all things West Ham, the headline being the pursuit of Flynn Downes this morning. Mark would prefer to sell Thomas Souček than Flynn Downes. Obsidian Curse says he needs to speak to his chairman about the ridiculous price then. Blokes in his last year, that's Walker Peters' price. Iggy says too many people are caught up in the notion that Downes is a West Ham fan, when the important issue is, does Lopetegui want him? Wasim says, does Downes want to go, as he may have a chance? We don't know. I don't think, nobody really knows, do we, Wasim? Like I said, last season, at the end of last season, the quotes are there from Flynn Downes about loving it at Southampton. He would love to be there next season. But like I said, it's not quite gun to head. But it's the old rule, isn't it? There's a rule in football. And Russell Martin's very much ignored it. Never fall in love with a player on loan. We all know the rule. I did it with Jesse Lingard. I fell in love with Jesse Lingard. It stings a little bit. You get frustrated. You desire that player more than usual because you've seen what he can do at your club. So Southampton fans probably really want Flynn Downes because they know exactly what he can bring to the football club. So Downes, he has to say that he's loving it at Southampton. He couldn't say anything else, really. If he did, he would be ending any possibility of going there. Steve says it's not a big deal. Obvious Southampton want him after the season he had, but I'd like to see him given another chance. But at the price is right, sell him. Exactly is what I think. Right. We used to like a community question on a live show, so we're going to do that again. And I want as many people to get involved as always, and we will see what you're all saying. How much would you be happy selling Flynn Downes for? Right, forget Kyle Walker-Peters for a minute. Right, well, actually, no, you can have him. It's up to you. You can include Walker-Peters in your opinion if you want. But how much would you be happy if we sold Flynn Downes? I know people are going to say, don't sell him. That's the game. It's a hypothetical game. Doesn't mean you want to sell him, but how much would you be happy with if we were to sell him? Tommy says Downes needs to give him a chance whenever he's played. He's got man of match. Plus, at Southampton and Swansea, he was the best player for both clubs. He is a gem. Greeno's liking seeing Lopetegui spending time with youth players in pre-season. Gareth says we need to keep Downes and maybe sell Souček, as we can't start the season with Ward-Prowse and Souček as midfield pair. They were terrible together. The one thing I'm going to say about this one, Lopetegui spending youth players, it is good, but it's nothing new. I'm not going to start. I'm not saying that Garino's doing this, but pretending Lopetegui's reinvented the wheel because he's got some youngsters at pre-season. Every manager's done it. Moyes did it. Bilic did it. Pellegrini did it. But you have to. You literally make up the numbers. If you took them out, there wouldn't be that many players on pre-season. So the young players always get minutes in pre-season, as far as I can remember, really. It's nothing new. But there's getting minutes at pre-season and getting a chance during the season. And I think that's a significant difference. And I'm just hoping that one leads to the other, because that's where I would say previous managers didn't do that. They'd play the youngsters pre-season. They would impress. And thank you very much. Back to under 21 you go. So that's where I'm hoping there's a difference with Lopetegui. We don't need too many of them to step up. Just one or two. Just one or two. Liam says, must admit, I've got caught up with all the training videos. The squad harmony looks great and level training looks to high standard. I think we all have. Some more than others. But I think I've warmed, Liam, it's helped me warm to Lopetegui because I was a little bit, I'm being honest, when he was appointed, I wasn't buzzing by it. I thought it was an okay appointment. That's it. I thought it was a safe pair of hands. So I needed a little bit of G'ing up in order to get excited for the new season. But it's worked on me, truth be told. I am looking for it, though. But I don't apologise for that. I'm not going to apologise for wanting to be positive. Mark said it'll be interesting to see how we keep possession in tomorrow's game. I'm assuming he's referring to West Ham, not England. Maybe he's referring to England. Wayne, how excited I am. To be fair, I thought there'd be more jibes in the live chat at it. I've had a couple of the last few days. You know, Scotland have supported 7 teams at the Euros and yet to see a win. Funny. The only team to beat Spain during the qualifiers in the tournament, Scotland, right? We did it. We beat Spain in the qualifiers. So let's see if England can do it. In all honesty, Wayne, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it as a neutral. I think it'll be a good game. I think Spain's a better team. England have the individual quality to do so. I mean, Spain do as well, don't get me wrong. But I'm really looking forward to it. And obviously, I've got a lot of English fans. And when they beat the Netherlands, I was happy for them. I was happy for my friends to see their country qualify for another final. I think it's a good thing for them. For me, unfazed. I always compare it to Spurs. I always say people don't get it. This is how I compare. I compare it to Tottenham. When Spurs are in the Champions League, if they lose, great. Happy. I prefer that. If they win, I'm not bothered. Whatever. It doesn't bother me. So if England were to win tonight, I'm not going to get upset or anything. It wouldn't bother me. Just prefer Spain. We are massive. Said I think Flynn will do well at the club, but I can also see him going. I'm going to trust the new head coach and Tim Steidten. Gary said he's not seen many midfielders linked with us. Maybe that is telling. I think it is. I would be surprised if once we've got a striker and a right back, if we start to see those links come, Gary. I think it's priority, which I'm not against, by the way. I think it's quite a good strategy that we've done so far this window. William thinks Duran is coming. We'll find out this week, I'd imagine, once the Copa America comes to a conclusion. Kevin says, interesting to see a girl smiling and enjoying training. Doesn't look like someone wanting a move. Gary says, it's poor management by Martin. Nailing his colours to the mast reminds me of Moyes with Lingard, Phillips and Maguire. Yeah, but it means we can take advantage of it, doesn't it? When the manager's that desperate, the selling club, if they want to, can cash in on it. Right. Earlier, 5 minutes ago, I said, what price would you be happy with for Flynn Downes if we were to sell him? Darren says 20 million. Alan says 15. Tommy says 30 to 40 million. Gary's 18 million. Cheddar's is 20. Garino says, seeing the prices of other players, 25 million for Flynn Downes. Wayne says 50 million. Demeji says 25. Stephen says 25. Andy says 20, but he thinks the club will take 15. Walsh says 15 million. Hard to value players barely played Premier League football. Percy says 20 million compared to some of the other championship purchases this summer. Williams in the 15 to 20. Keith's 15 million. Mark says 20 million because that's what he's worth to Southampton. It's more than what he's worth to us. Brown Bread is 15. Steve says he'd take 20 million. So you go around about 20 million seems to be the figure. Graham says 25 million for Downes, but would put pressure on Steidten to get a replacement in if we sell. So there you go, about 25 million, says Danny Boy. Fat Bloke says 20 million. Eugene says, I just assume you called Eugene. Huge says 15 to 20. Art says 15 to 20. Curse says 30 million for Downes because we paid 40 for Kilman. Rudy Allen says he saw a lot of Flynn Downes last season and he was superb, but hard to know if he can make the step up. he would want 18 to 20 million for the best Championship midfielder because that's what I expect to pay. I think that's where I am. 20 million. The club can't get. If the club get less than 15, then someone deserves to be shot. I think that's a fair fee for Flynn Downes, around about 20 million. Right then, before I continue any further, keep getting your thoughts in. Just want to point you in very quickly in direction of our Patreon. You'll know what it is now. Patreon.com/Hammers Chat. Links in the description below. It's where you can pay a fee every month for additional video content, and it helps support the channel and allows us to create one video per day per channel. We've also got 2 channels, and we create content over on Patreon as well. Now, in return for your subscription fee, as well as access to all those additional video content, we've just signed up Babbling Irons. We're in partnership with Babbling Irons now, who are producing 1 podcast per week over on Patreon. So it's been a pleasure to welcome Frankie, Sloth, and Mike to the team as well. So they're producing that over there. Their first one went live last week. But in addition to all that, you get entered into a monthly giveaway, and the top prize, if you're a patron in July, so if you're an existing patron or you join up today or you join up on the 30th of July, you will be entered into the giveaway. And the top prize is this football shirt. But it's not just any football shirt. And it's not just a football shirt with Bowen 20 on the back. This is a shirt which was worn by Jarrod Bowen against Liverpool last season, in which he scored in. So this shirt, Bowen scored in for West Ham. This is the top prize over on Patreon. Now, if you join Patreon at the supporters tier, it would cost you £3.60. So £3.60 to enter the draw. I guess my question is, would you enter a raffle for £3.60 with the possibility of winning a match-worn Jarrod Bowen shirt? The answer is yes. Head over to patreon.com. And if you're an addict and you're watching this, please log in, because you can get a free packet of beer mats this month. All you have to do is pay for shipping and you'll get your beer mats. Likewise, you join up as an addict this month, you're entitled to the free packet of beer mats. Anyway, plug done. Let's get back to it. Mark says, I think our formation will be fluid next year, but in the main, it will be 3-4-3, which is what the youth setup has been playing. I think we have enough in midfield to let Downes go. Kent says he wouldn't be happy about selling Flynn without having a proper look at him. 25 million is a price for Downes for him, given players in Championship, the prices that players in Championship are going for. Massive says sell for no less than 25 million, but I'd rather keep him and sell Souček. Tommy says 30 million because he's homegrown, a solid holding midfielder, and has some of the best pass completion rate of any midfielder across European football, statistics-wise. William says Kyle Walker-Peters or Wan-Bissaka. We're going to have a second community question. Thank you for that, William. Right, let's have a look. Let me scroll a little bit now. Chris says Southampton only have themselves to blame after asking a ridiculous price for Walker-Peters. They weren't so unrealistic. There's a deal to be done for all parties, including Downes. I agree with what Chris is saying there. It feels like there's an obvious solution here, doesn't there? They want our player. We want their player. It shouldn't be a difficult transaction. Wayne says it's a stark contrast with Lopetegui's training regime compared to Moyes ball. Not sure I ever saw any video clips of Moyes ball at training ground. When I did, I never saw instruction or being happy. Harrison said if entering Southampton should be given us, Walker-Peters, and 5 million for Downes. Otherwise, he could be an important part of our squad. It should be a win-win for us either way. Cards are in our hands. I completely agree with that one. Wrestling Channel, hello, hope you're doing well. They say 20 million for Downes is a fair price. Zeem says 30 million for Downes. Alan's just bigging up Patreon. So thank you very much, Alan. So there you go. We've got a review. It's we've turned into sort of a Trustpilot very quickly here in this show. But there you go. There's a Patreon's review. Gavino said, Bones, come on, score winner. Take off his England shirt and show West Ham. But you know something, that I will struggle if that happens. Not the top part, but just if Bowen came on and scored the winner, I'd struggle, because when he came on against whoever he came on against and he nearly set up Harry Kane within a couple of minutes, I was like, oh, wow, what a cross. Well done, Bowen. And I was like, hang on a minute. No. But it's difficult when you support a player playing for a country that you don't. It's tricky. You find your loyalty is tested, right? What do you care more about, Jarrod Bowen or being patriotic, and I forgot for 2 minutes. I forgot I was rooting for Javid Bowen. So I'm hoping he doesn't come on and score a winner, because half of me is going to be like proud and delighted, and the other half's going to be unbothered. Right then, as William said, who would you rather have at right back next season, Walker Peters or Wan-Bissaka? Get your thoughts in and give me a sentence as to why you're picking that player. So you're choosing Wan-Bissaka. Say why you're picking Wan-Bissaka for over Walker Peters. Wayne thinks Downes is worth 25 million to Southampton. Greener says Wan-Bissaka is a right back, Walker Peters is a wing back, so it depends on the system. DC says Downes is 20 million maximum. Anything over that's a little bit silly. Sai says 30 million is too high for Downes, 20 million is too low, so in the middle, 25 million. Alan says Walker Peters up to 15. The Southampton assist, Downes is involved. I'd walk away and try and get Wan-Bissaka. Michael says Downes was the best player in Championship last season, so how can Southampton want more for Kyle Walker? So how can Southampton want Kyle Walker Peters straight swap? Taylor says we need more players that love to play for the club. Downes is one of them. Bowen has become another, but the rest are few and far between. We should try and keep these players when we can. Ben Johnson loved playing for West Ham. Didn't make too much difference there. Kevin, I have seen the Paddy Power video. I think it's fantastic. Paddy Power are head and shoulders above when it comes to that sort of marketing. I like the Danny Dyer advert as well for the England part of it at the start of this. I started tournament when that came out. I like it. I like what Paddy Power do. DC says Wan-Bissaka because he's a really good defender. Kerr said Walker Peters is more exciting but riskier. Paul would prefer Walker Peters because he can play both sides as well as fullback and wing back. Massive would prefer Wan-Bissaka because he's got a lot more experience. Kent says Wan-Bissaka unless Southampton give us Walker Peters and money for Flynn Downes. Harrison says Walker Peters offers much more in attack, which suits Lopetegui. On the other hand, Wan-Bissaka offers us more defensively. Would be happy with either. Alex says 100% Wan-Bissaka, younger, play with better players and fast. Justin says Wan-Bissaka was a baller before he went to Man U and he can be again. Kevin Ord says Wan-Bissaka's more Premier League experience, so he gets that vote. Anthony thinks Wan-Bissaka is a better defender and he's not as bad going forward as many make out. He originally started out as a winger. He's also 10 centimetres taller. That's a very accurate statistic about height. You've been researching this morning or something. How do you know Wan-Bissaka's 10 centimetres taller than Walker Peters? I'm almost intrigued. Fat Bloke says Wan-Bissaka, loads of pace, which we need. Walsh says depends on the wages, but Wan-Bissaka and system we play, but I like him as a right back. Charlie thinks Wan-Bissaka is much better than Walker Peters. I have a lot of love for Wan-Bissaka. Mark says neither of them. He thinks Tim Steiden can find somebody better than the pair of them. That's interesting. Anyway, right, okay. I think we'll leave it there. It's 25 minutes in on Sunday morning. That's enough me pestering people. Tonight, 7:30, watch along for the England game. So do come along. Get it on your phone or your tablet. Put the football on the telly and put watch along on your device. Tomorrow at 2:30, we're live on this channel with the watch along for the West Ham friendly. West Ham, however, we've got our first friendly of the summer tomorrow. We'll be doing a watch along. So again, load up the watch along, load up the game, watch the game, but listen and interact with the live chat on the watch along. That'd be much appreciated. But thank you very much to everybody for watching this video and for those who joined in the live chat. Appreciate it a lot. The next live video, I think, will be 9 a.m. next Sunday. So you're kicking around at 9 a.m. on Sundays. Start writing this into get this as part of your Sunday routine. Joining Hammers Chat live on a Sunday morning at 9 a.m. What a better way than to start the day. Anyway, if you fancy Patreon, patreon.com/Hammers Chat. Links in the description below. All support kindly appreciated, and I'll catch up with you later.